Hey, what's up YouTube? It's Nick from Rise Up Sports, and I'm back with another video today recapping the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. We're getting close to the end. I'm looking at my schedule, what videos I'm going to make, and we only have our recap of the divisional round, which is this video. The conference championship, I'm not going to really do anything for the Pro Bowl, just because it's a joke now with no actual game. And then the Super Bowl recap, and then after that, I might do some off-season stuff. I'm thinking next week, as I'm looking, because I'm going to do a conference championship recap, and I'm going to wait a week for my Super Bowl predictions because, you know, I don't want to give them like 2 weeks early. So what I'm going to do instead is probably in that gap where the Super Bowl prediction video would have been, I'm probably going to do my recap of like all of the like what I thought everybody's record was going to be, who I thought was going to do what. Probably do a reaction video to that. I'll just have them all pulled up and kind of watch myself, cringe at myself, if you want to say that. But anyway, today it's not about that, but I just want to let you know going forward, that's probably what I'm going to do. Today's video is a divisional round recap, so without further ado, let's get into it. All right, here we are. Jags Chiefs, first game on the list. Trevor Lawrence played a pretty good game. It was a tough game for him, but I thought he played decently. Trevor Lawrence, you know, he played okay through that one interception, but Travis Etienne ran the ball pretty well. They ran the ball pretty well against the Chiefs, to be honest with you. Zay Jones, Christian Kirk, good games. Big issue with this one was a Jamal Agnew's fumble that resulted in Kansas City being able to just run out the clock because they were about to score and make it interesting at the end. But Kansas City moves on. Not really shocking. I don't think it shocked anybody. But what it was shocking was how Patrick Mahomes basically had a high ankle sprain, not just an ankle sprain, but a high ankle sprain, which those for some athletes even can be, you know, 4-week absences. And he's saying he's going to play next week in the AFC Championship game. So we'll see. I mean, I was impressive. Chad Henne's drive down the field was impressive. They were able to, you know, run the ball pretty effectively, which helped a lot. But also, Chad Henne, great drive by him to take over for the injured Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes obviously came back in, finished the job, and you know he's playing on one leg. Very impressive stuff. Just want to get that out of the way. That very impressive stuff from Mahomes. Travis Kelce with 14 catches. Could have been more if the Jags made it more interesting. They would have probably would have had 16, 17, maybe even 20 catches. But 14, a lot of catches. A lot of like not super long catches for a lot of these guys. Like 7 yards a catch for Kelce, 7.2 for Tony. That's a lot of probably short, quick passes is kind of what they did a lot throughout this game. But they were able to get it done. Kansas City moves on. And who they play, I'm just going to go down, and I'm going to talk about the Bengals-Bills game. Very interesting game. Well, let's start with the Bills, because the Bills were on their home field in the snow. Obviously, it does snow in Cincinnati too, but Buffalo, it really snows, and it snowed a lot. So it was probably in a couple years, probably the most amount of snow I've seen in a game in a while. Like, it was pretty snow. I didn't really watch most of this, to be honest, because I was at a basketball game. But from what I saw and from the recap that I saw, the Bills did not look very good. Again, it's their Achilles heel, and I think I've heard people say it. Look at the rushing stats. That's all you need to look at for this team. They can't run the ball effectively. They can't do it. James Cook, I'm surprised he only got 5 carries, but James Cook, I feel like it's a better running back than Singletary, but they could not run the ball. And when that happened, then Diggs only has 4 catches. It becomes very one-dimensional, very Josh Allen dependent. And when Josh Allen struggles and has a so-so game, this is going to be your result. I mean, the Bengals, when you look at them, They ran the ball super effectively. Joe Mixon had a great game. Joe Burrow threw the ball very well. Jamar Chase had a good game. They just had a much better game overall than Buffalo, and I picked the Bengals to beat the Bills. I was right. I only missed on one game this week. We'll get to that in a second, but I thought it was interesting for sure. I mean, I didn't expect the Bills to only score 10 points, but I did expect them to lose. Anyway, not to toot my own horn, but I picked the Bills to lose. Then they did. And how about the biggest upset of the week, for not upset, biggest win of the week, I guess I should say. Eagles. Giants had no business being in this game. I mean, the only reason they were is because they beat up a terrible Vikings defense the week before. But the Eagles are a whole different animal. Again, I mean, Saquon ran the ball effectively, but when you're down, I think they were down 28 to nothing at halftime. When you're down 28-0, you can't really run the ball anymore. You kind of have to throw a lot. And then the receivers are just not here. Like Richie James is a receiver, but then you have running back, and then one catch for 3, 4, 5 different receivers. So when that happens, it's just they don't have the talent. They really don't. And the Eagles do. I mean, they were just able to pound the rock like super effectively. And Jalen Hurts just had to do limited. He had to just be good, and he was. He was just good. He didn't have to be amazing or anything, but next week he will, and I'm really looking forward to that. And lastly, 49ers Cowboys. I think we all understand now that Dak might not be that guy. I'm not going to say he's not, but I have been a Dak, you could say, hater in the past. I really don't love Dak Prescott at all. I picked him to win this game because I thought Dak was going to take that step up that we've all been waiting for. And I was hopeful that he would. But I did say a while ago, whenever Dak first was coming out and having great seasons after great seasons and winning 13 games, I was like, I just don't think Dak's that good. He just doesn't look that good to me. And I think people are finally realizing that maybe he's not all that everybody's cracking him up to be. I mean, he's playing a great defense in the 49ers, and I mean, Tony Pollard gets hurt, breaks his fibula. Ezekiel Elliott, obviously, a really rough game, and Ezekiel Elliott's not the guy he used to be, and they're paying him $15 million a year, which is absurd. CeeDee Lamb had a great game. He's definitely number one wide receiver. Dalton Schultz is good, except for the fact that he stepped out of bounds at the end of the game. Like, how do you not know to get 2 feet down? But anyway, that's just not a very smart play, but game was over at that point anyway. But I mean, really, Brock Purdy just had to be okay, and he really did not look great, but I mean, they didn't even run the ball very effectively, and they still got the job done. So this stat line right here with the 49ers will not win against the Eagles. Like, they just won't win against the Eagles with this stat line. There is no way. But the Eagles, the way they played, if they play like that, they're not going to beat the 49ers. So I think one of these teams is going to have to step up. My bet's on the Eagles, but I'll get to that in the next video. But that is my recap. Hope you all enjoyed. I know it's probably a little shorter than normal just because there are only 4 games to cover. So if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below, and I will see you on the next Rise of Sports.